Okay, so welcome back and thank you for staying with us on 91.3 Radio Maria, the voice of truth. The Abia state comes from the old Imo state in 1991, has grown from strength to strength since the Abians have distinct cultural heritage, which they don't fail to showcase at the slightest opportunity given. And then we will be seeing that with our guest, because she thinks that their marriage was misrepresented, and they are here to correct that impression, to tell us what makes their marriage tick. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
So can we just go to the stages of marriage in Abia State?
Okay.
The stage one, please.
The stages of marriage, with particular reference to where I come from. Incidentally, I am born and brought up in Ohuhu, and I got married to somebody from Ohuhu too.
Oh, nice.
So when we come to marriage in Ohuhu land, there are three major stages of marriage. But before those stages, we have what we call Nigerian-ABUJA.
Okay.
And this Nigerian-ABUJA is asking questions. The family of the groom and the family of the bride will be given opportunities to go to the places that the intending couples are born or where they grew up, to make inquiries about them, their behavior, find out about their family, because you find out that there are families that, the way they believe it, there are families that have terminal sickness, there are families that have criminals, and there are families that are quarrelsome. And these are the things that the families try to find out to make sure that their children are not making wrong choices. So when they make inquiries and they are okay with their findings, they now go ahead to go to the next stage, which is what we call Ekwelemdi.
Okay.
The woman has agreed to get married to the man. So we have lists.
Okay.
Of what is expected of the man to do.
It's interesting that you're talking about the man first, because we always talk about the women and women and women. So let's go. What is expected of the man or the groom to be?
Yes, the groom to be. The groom to be will come to the family of the man and pay a token to get the list with which he will use to marry the woman. In the list, they will make a list of all the requirements, ranging from drinks, from wrappers, from the monies to be paid, to every bit of the marriage ceremony. So the first stage is Ekwelemdi. The man will collect the list, then he will go to his family. They will now come back to perform the first stage. You cannot go to the second stage before performing the first stage.
Okay, let's get clarification before going to the second stage. I am wondering that the groom to be has to pay some token before he will get the list.
Yes.
So how big is this token?
I call it token because it's not much.
Okay.
Depending on the family, maybe 500 naira. It may be 1,000 naira, it may be 2,000 naira, it may be 10,000 naira.
Okay.
That's why I called it a token.
Oh, token. Okay, I like the first one that you started from 500 naira, because we are advocating on our heritage that parents and communities should keep it simple, so that we have a lot of young people out there unmarried. Keep it simple so that our young people are encouraged. So let's go to the stage 2.
So the stage 2 is where both families will come together and bargain on the bride price.
Okay.
That is Ihuako. Bargaining on the bride price. Depending on the locality, depending on the family, just like I said, this Ihuako, maybe it could be like maybe 40 naira as the bride price. It could be 1,000 naira. It could be 1 million naira.
Okay.
Depending on what the family agree on. But apart from the money apart from the bride price, there are other things like drinks. For each of the stages, they have the quantity of drinks that they will bring. there are like when you get to the second stage, you come with your drinks, come with all the requirements, and pay the bride price. After paying that bride price, then you now come to the last stage, which is the Mkporongwani.
Okay, let's hold on before we go to the next stage. It's like the stages are comes with different responsibilities.
Yes.
And I can imagine it comes also, it has financial implication also.
Yes.
Yeah, so you talk about the drinks, and then you talk about the marriage at the second stage.
Yes.
So are you saying that the parents come with just the groom to be without friends and family?
No, of course, you have to come with your family members.
Okay, immediate family
members, or maybe few friends.
Okay.
But your immediate family members have to be involved.
Okay.
We can't, in my place, you can't marry a wife without your family.
Correct.
You have to come with your family so that the family you are coming to marry their daughter will know that you are coming from somewhere.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So after the Ihuako, it will now come to Mkporo, the last stage, which is the Mkporongwani, which a lot of people call traditional marriage. You know, you can now invite your friends.
But excuse me, before inviting friends, so by the time the bride price is paid, they are pronounced husband and wife, I can imagine, right?
Yes.
Are they allowed to go and stay together or until the final stage?
They are not allowed until the final stage.
Okay, so take us through the final stage.
So when it comes to the final stage, you will now come and do the ceremony where you bring your friends. On the day of the Ihuako, they will give you a drink with which to show them the man that you've chosen to get married to. Then on the day of the Mkporongwani too, ceremoniously you are given a drink to go and look for the man before your friends, before your family members, before your colleagues, and whoever you have invited to your traditional marriage.
Okay, so there are two different stages now where drinks are displayed. So are there different
three different stages?
Three
but
different
the two,
stages.
it's only in the second one, Ihuako and Mkporongwani, that you are now giving a drink to Gand.
So, okay, you're giving a drink to present to your husband. Are they, because there are two different occasions. The first one I can imagine is the Ngoro something, Ekwelemji, and the second one is Ihuako. So they have two different names. How about the drinks? Is it the same drink or?
No, different drinks. You know these drinks. You have malt, you have beer. And you know, when you come to beer, you have Life, you have Star, you have Hero. So they will list out all these things.
Okay.
Then you can monetize them.
Okay.
It depends on what you agree with the family. You can monetize them. Okay. If you don't want to go through the stress of going to the market to go and buy things, you ask them, for this first stage, how much am I expected to pay?
Okay, talking about not going to the market, if you are from Ohunhun local government and you think the marriage in Ohunhun local government was not represented properly.
It's not a local government.
Community?
It's a clan.
Okay, it's a clan.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll keep learning and learning. Thank you very much for
You're
that
welcome.
Correction. So we will go on a short break. When we come back, we will still be talking about traditional marriage in Ohunhun clan.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I can imagine my colleague also is so interested in this Ohunhun clan marriage, as she's giving us back to back some very nice melodious song from the Igbo land. Thank you very much for that one. Before we go on that short break, we were talking about the traditional marriage in Ohunhun clan. We have mentioned the two stage. I'm sorry, I would have loved to call them stage by stage, but for the one, I don't want to commit any blunder. So we will allow the experts to go right to the stage 3, which is
The Mkporongwani.
okay. Let's go.
Mkporongwani is the traditional marriage, and it is the day that the woman will leave her father, her parents, to join the husband.
Okay.
So after the Mkporongwani, that is the official traditional marriage where people are invited. You will dance round, show them your husband. Then at the end of the day, you will join your husband. You will go to the family of your husband. And that day, your parents are expected to buy things with which to start a new life. Your mother will buy all the things that are needed in the kitchen.
Okay.
If they are buoyant enough, even if they want to buy a car for you, they can do that. They will buy mattress, they'll buy sewing machine, they'll buy fridge, they'll buy freezer, washing machine,
I
blender.
can imagine that you just furnished a
Yes.
complete house
Yes.
for the bride and groom.
Yes.
Okay.
Then all the kitchen utensils, your mother is expected to get them together for you.
Interesting.
Then there's a group we call Umuamuamu.
Okay.
These are young girls who are not married. Before you take your wife, you must do what is in their own list, because they have to sing for the woman, they will pray for you people and bless you before you join your husband.
Okay.
Then
So
the men from your kindred have to be settled too. The women have to be settled.
Okay.
You know, so that is why it looks as if getting married to somebody from Ohuhu is expensive. When you check the monetary aspect of it, the bride price for what you're supposed to pay for the first, second, and third stage is minimal. But what really costs you a lot are the things that you're supposed to provide, ranging from the drinks, ranging from the clothes for the parents of the bride, for the things you're supposed to do for these young girls, the things you're supposed to do for the family members, for the kindred.
I can
You know?
imagine that there's so much to
A
buy.
very long list.
Okay, so and we are advocating, or you are the president of the Ohuhu Women Local Wing.
Ohuhu Welfare Union. Women's
Union,
Wing,
Women's
Abuja.
Wing. We are advocating that you should keep it simple so that you can encourage the Ohuhu men. Oh, okay. By the way, is that applicable to Ohuhu men and then non-Ohuhu men, or it's only for the Ohuhu men?
Yes, non-Ohuhu men. In some places, the list they give to a non-Ohuhu man is different from what they give to an Ohuhu man.
So you break the bank. You allow a non-Ohuhu
In
man
some
to
places,
break the
it
bank.
depends on families. The list is usually, some places they will tell you our daughter is a graduate, so you can't just get it so easily like that.
So you have to pay for the tuition fee.
So you have to pay.
Interesting. Well, if you are out there and you are rolling with Ohuhu lady, we are not trying to discourage you. We are just giving you the stages so that you will know, you will prepare before you get to Ohuhu clan.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And personally, I believe that when a man spends a fortune to marry a wife, he will value what he got. You find out that most people, most couples who tend to fight, break bottles, at any slightest opportunity, the woman will move out of the house or the man will leave the house for the woman. The man didn't really suffer to get what he has.
So by extension, the Ohuhu people or clan are doing this so that the husband can value his wife.
Yes, you have to value. It's not only in Ohuhu. I think in the whole of Umuahia. But I can talk about Ohuhu because I know I've gone through the stages of marriage and I know what it entails. That's why I can, boldly talk about what is obtainable in Ohuhu.
So unfortunately, I am curious to ask a question, but the question would have been better for me, but I'm sorry, I would have, if you were not married to an Ohuhu man, I would have loved to ask what was his reaction after the marriage. You did said, if not because you are beautiful, I would have skipped this.
What will his reaction be? My husband has a sister who is also married. The
So
man
she
that
went
the
through
man
the
that married
process.
yes, the man that married her also went through the process.
I can imagine.
So my husband knew what he was going to see, or he knew what was expected of him before he came.
Okay.
So
Okay, so he didn't complain
didn't
because he has
complain.
passed through the stage. Someone
Yes.
else, he has done
somebody
it to
married
someone
his
else.
sister, so
Okay. By the way, I've been to Ohunhun. I know that I've spent couple of days in Ohunhun thanks to my madam, so I can relate that it's a beautiful it's a beautiful climb.
Yes.
That the cultural heritage is also very rich. So
Yes.
I can imagine. I had the chance to also attend a program that my boss was invited, so I was there with them, so I could see the display of culture and the what makes Ohunhun people tick. I saw it. So after the bride price, after all those stages, the party.
yes, then the party, then you join your husband, you can now go and plan for your wedding.
Wow. I just realized that we are not talking wedding and we have gone through several stages.
Yes, it's after these 3 stages you can now talk about your white wedding or church wedding, whatever they call it.
Okay.
So this one has to do with the traditional aspect of the marriage.
Okay. So I can imagine that after going through the stages, the food, I want us to talk a bit about the food from like after going through the stage, what will now calm the bride and groom?
Well, we have different delicacies, different types of soup. We have the most important one, which every other person who comes to an Ohunhun land will request for, which is our okazi soup and achara.
Okay. So let's talk achara. Or which is is it the same soup or
Yes,
they're two
it's the
different
same soup. It's the same soup.
Okay, I like the name achara, so let's
Yes.
just go through the process.
This okazi soup is a soup that we cook in any traditional occasion that we have, any ceremony that involves an Ohunhun man or woman. Okazi soup must be involved.
Okay.
And this is our local soup. This is our ceremonial soup. The soup is very, very important to us. Very, very important to us. And I'll go ahead and tell you the ingredients that we use to prepare this okazi soup.
Okay.
We have the egusi. We have also, we use it to mold the egusi. It holds the egusi together. Then when you are molding this egusi, you add salt, you add pepper, you add Maggi cube and water.
Okay.
Then the process of molding this egusi, we call it mboroso. The end product is called mboroso. It's like do I call it egusi cake? Even in our traditional marriages, they have the big one, they mold it and the size is bigger than the one that they put in the soup.
Okay.
And for every of the stage of the marriage, they present oba. You know what oba is?
Yes.
Oil bean. This egusi has to be on top of it. The big one has to be on top of it. So it is that small one that we now add to the soup. When you finish molding when you grind your egusi and grind your osu, you now mix them together. And for you to get the right consistency, it has to be 3 cups of egusi to 1 cup of osu.
Okay.
You now put it in your mortar or you put it in your bowl. You add your pepper, you add your salt to taste, you add your Maggi cube, and you start kneading it,
Okay.
kneading it, you know. Then you add water when it requires water. You mold it until oil starts coming out from it.
Okay.
When it now becomes very thick, you start molding it in small sizes.
Okay.
After molding it, you put it on fire to cook. So while you are cooking it, you can now add your okporoko. That's stockfish, not the head, oh, not the ear.
Yeah.
The okporoko itself. You add it to the egusi to cook together. Then you now prepare you boil your meat, be it cow leg, be it cow tail, be it beef, whatever protein you want to use, you boil it. After boiling it, you now add your water.
Okay, talking about water, I'm sorry, let's let's hold on. Talking about water, we will open the phone lines while you are telling us about water,
Okay.
so that our listeners also can call and contribute. Let's see, please, if don't protest because if you are not, we spoke about the general marriage in Igbo land, and if you think that your clan or your community or your state was not represented properly, just like the Ohunhun people have done, you also let us know, so we'll see what we can do about it. The number to call is 081 084 475 18. 081 084 475 18. Please call us and let us know. We were talking about the achara soup, and we were talking about water. You stop.
Yes. So when you finish boiling the meat, you now add the water for the soup. Don't forget to add you can now, while you're boiling the meat,
Thank you so much for that wonderful contribution, and have a blessed day. Okay, you just okay, so you heard what the last caller said. It might appear so expensive. Don't be scared, young men, don't be scared.
Just like I said, it depends on the family.
Depending on the
Some family will make it easier for you, some will make it difficult for you.
Okay.
And most times it's not the parents of the bride that will make it difficult, because they are not even the ones that will write the list and present.
Okay.
They don't have any hand in the list.
Oh, I can imagine.
So they have people who are in charge of giving list, and they are the ones that will write the list and come and give to the person that is getting married to their daughter.
Okay.
So most times you find out that even the parents of the bride may not even get anything, because they will even try to protect their in-law. But the only thing is that you will not have to satisfy the family members, then maybe to their own detriment.
Okay. So family members, please, we are begging, keep it simple and encourage young people. We're talking about the process
The okazi soup.
Okazi soup.
Yes. So when you finish boiling your meat, you can now add your dry fish. You add your stockfish head, and whatever you want to use to cook it. By then, the egusi will be on fire.
Okay.
You know, cooking. When you check and the egusi is done, you can now wash the achara and put it in the egusi. Allow it to boil for like at most 5 minutes so that it will be crunchy. You now make your soup. You know,
so
this
sorry to
soup,
ask you, is the achara, is it a leaf?
it's
or?
like a vegetable.
Okay.
It's like a vegetable.
Okay.
Then for the soup, you have what we call bonga fish. You grind this bonga fish. Some people will grind, even after grinding, you still put the flesh. You grind crayfish.
Okay, we'll grind crayfish. Okay, go ahead,
You
please.
grind crayfish. You grind bonga fish. Then you can add oporo. Oporo is prawn, dried one, to it. You grind it. Then you now make your soup. Put your water, the quantity you want. Add the oil. Allow it to boil for a while. You add your egusi. After adding little egusi, then you now mix your achi. Achi is the thickener that we use to cook egusi.
So talking about thickener, I hope you're listening. If you are just joining us, this is Radio Maria 91.3, the voice of truth. We are talking about the traditional marriage in Abia, in Ohunhun clan, because they said that what we spoke the last time did not represent their clan. So that's what we are talking. We are making that correction. So if you are listening to us, you have concerns or you have questions or you have contribution, please call us and let us know what your concern is, because of course we have a professional here. She's from Ohunhun clan and her husband is also from Ohunhun clan, so she knows everything about the culture, and she is happy to clarify whatever your concerns are. So we're talking about the
okazi soup.
okazi
So
soup.
you now add after adding the egusi, you mix the thickener, achi or ofo or okpo, whatever, whichever one you want to use. Before you add it, you can use the egusi, the crayfish, the oporo and the bonga fish that is already that you finish grinding, and mix it with the thickener
Okay.
so that it doesn't make balls inside the soup.
I'm wondering how many hours does it take to make this achara
It
soup?
doesn't take time.
Because the process seems to be so complicated.
Yes, the process is long, but when you finish preparing the things you use to make the soup, it makes it easier. In 30 minutes, 45 minutes, you are done.
Okay. Unfortunately for me, I don't think I have tasted the soup, but call us and let us know if you have tasted achara soup or if you have not. And there's another thing, I know a lot of people don't like to try new things. They don't like to try new things. Try achara soup and
Very
call us,
interesting.
call us, let us know if you have tried the soup or if there's any soup at all that you were asked to try and the face or the look did not look good, and so for that reason you did not try it. Talking about trying soup, I will encourage us to do some intercultural dialogue on food. I had the chance to attend some interreligious dialogue, and then during the food section where everybody was going to eat, of course they know that people from different geopolitical zones of Nigeria were present, so the dishes were different. There were varieties of dish that represent every geopolitical zone. So, and then I saw that the people from the north were particularly, the queue was very long because they were going to what they were familiar with. So I now went to them. I said, okay, by way of distracting you, I want us to have like intercultural dialogue on food. Can we try the white soup? Because the white soup was what was right in front of me, and myself, I have not tried it before.
Wow.
It didn't necessarily look
appetizing.
appealing to me, but I said, okay, let's try it. And because I was championing the cause, and I started. I grabbed a plate and I took it, but I know that I had an escape route because in the part of the geopolitical zone, you could eat food with just meat. So I said, okay, that will be my escape route if worst come to worst. So I took the soup, and then I encouraged them that if you cannot take much, if you cannot take it as a full meal that you want to take, you can just take a pinch of it on the side of your plate and have a taste of it. And then so everybody did that, and then we all went back to our seats and were sitting on the same table, and I was closing my eyes and I was looking at the soup. I'm like, oh, how can I eat this now? Why did I even start? And then I just picked my cutlery and scooped a pinch out of it, and I tasted it. I'm like, oh, it's not bad after all. So, and then when I went the next scoop I was going to scoop, I saw there was a lot of meat, a lot of fish inside, and like all manner of fishes inside the soup. And I was like, okay. And then that's how I ate the food, and I enjoyed it. So we are encouraging you to try some intercultural dialogue with food and see. You never know, you could just find your new favorite food from that. Just like we have talked about the okazi soup. And don't worry about the stages, how complicated it is. Just try it. You can try it. You don't have to cook it. You can go to the restaurant. I can imagine that you can find the soup in the restaurant.
Yes, you can.
So go to the restaurant and find okazi soup. The number to call and contribute and tell us if you have tasted it, or you want to try it, or there's a particular food that you want to try and the face does not look appealing to you. Let us know that food. You never know. Our guests might know much about the food, and she will tell you how delicious that food is, or you can even try it yourself. The number to call is 081 084 475 18, 081 084 475 18. Or you can even tell us how traditional marriage is done. Do you have some similarity with the Onhuhu clan, or do you have similarity with the previous one we talked about? Just call us and let us know what tradition. Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Sorry, we lost that call. We don't know what is wrong with network, but please try to call back and let's know what is your contribution. Are you willing to talk about the Ohunhun clan, the marriage in Ohunhun clan, or the achara soup? But the achara, can it be cooked in a different way, or it has to go through this process? Is there a short way to?
You know, this achara we're talking about is like a vegetable.
Okay.
That you add to okazi soup. You can equally add it to our bitter leaf soup.
Okay.
You can equally add it to our vegetable soup. We call it ofe akwukwo. We cook it with okra and ogo.
Okay, thank you very much. I hope that our guest speaker can answer this question, because your question is like bringing Ohunhun to Abuja, to the city, right? Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, and stay tuned. She will answer your question.
Well, the most important thing in Ohunhun marriage is completing the 3 stages of the marriage. And I think bringing the marriage to Ohunhun depends on the family. If the family are in agreement to do the traditional marriage in Abuja because of the security situation, I think they are free to do that. I've seen a couple of families that did that here too. So it depends on the agreement of the family. If the families are in agreement to do the wedding, to do the traditional marriage in Abuja, all you need to do is get the list and do whatever is in the list for them, those of them that are in the village who cannot come. Give them what is theirs, what is their right, give it to them. And
the good thing is that you can monetize it,
yes,
right?
you can the good thing is that you can even monetize it.
Okay. So is your question answered, ma? Okay, I think we lost the call. I hope that
that answers her question.
Yeah, that answers her question. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, talking about the insecurity in Nigeria, I also think that parents should or families should also keep it simple and make it flexible. We are rounding up. We hope that we have answered your question, or you have understand how traditional marriage is being done in Ohunhun clan. Please, can you give us our final words, like maybe advice to young people who think that the Ohunhun clan is too complicated and it's a concern for them?
Well, let me just disabuse their mind. Marrying a wife from Ohunhun is not too complicated or too expensive as they see it. It depends on the family you are entering into. The family are going to take their daughter as a wife.
Okay.
And it's not complicated in any way anyway. And again, I believe that Ohunhun women make very good housewives.
Okay.
I believe that so much. I don't know.
Okay, so young men out there, if you are listening, you have to try the Ohunhun women, because she have just said it's coming out from the Ohunhun person who grew up in Ohunhun clan. She is telling us that they are very good people. We are giving a chance for one last caller. Call us and tell us what you think about what we have said about the Ohunhun marriage. But if there's nobody, okay, we thank you, and we are appealing as usual. I am appealing. Our heritage is appealing. The families, parents, please keep it simple and make it easy for the young people. On that note, I will say thank you for all those who make effort to call and network did not allow you. My apologies. For all of you who called and made contributions, we sincerely appreciate your contributions. And to you listeners out there, we thank you for listening, and please keep a date with us on 91.3 Radio Maria, the voice of truth.